Hello and welcome to British English with me, Alexandre. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is about British grammar. Today we're going through Unit 14. This is actually the last unit in terms of future. I started talking about the future as of Unit 9. So this is actually the last one. By that time, if you can understand that unit, it's a structure. You're going to be able to express yourself in different ways regarding the future opportunities. This is about, again, advanced grammar in use from Cambridge University by Martin Hewings. This is a self-study reference and practice book for advanced learners of English. Okay, so let's go through that exercise. But before we get started, please, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends, family members, people who want to learn and improve their English. Experience has shown me that by studying out loud, it's easier to remember the words, so you exponentially increase your vocabulary. Your brain gets the meanings of the words, phrases, sentences in an easier way, and it's really effective because when you study like that, you learn grammar, you learn pronunciation connected to speech. It's a natural process. So we don't have many things to be talking. You're just learning, you're just studying, reading, speaking. Your ears are listening to the words and sentences. So you're learning all the things that are necessary so you can express yourself and understand English. Okay, without any further ado, let's go through that section. This is Unit 14 of our English grammar, British English grammar. Okay, now we're talking about the future, but the future seen from the past. So if we look at this timeline, we've got now, the present time. The speaker is speaking now. I'm speaking. I'm here now because I'm speaking, right? I'm here. And I might be talking about something in the past, something that was occurring in the past. I might say something at a particular point in the past. But I might be talking about the future here, but in relation to a fact in the past. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking now. The future seen from the past. We're talking now about the future, which would be here, but we're talking about the future seen from the past. And it's really important to understand. This is grammar. You've got to learn this. You get the idea. Okay, let's get started with the lesson. So here it says, there are a number of ways of talking about an activity or event that was in the future at a particular point in the past. Okay, by the way, what's the difference between an activity or an event? An activity is something that we do or that we make. An event is something that happens, not necessarily because of us. It doesn't depend on us. So again, there are a number of ways of talking about an activity or event that was in the future at a particular point in the past. In order to express this idea, we can use the past tenses of the verb forms we would normally use to talk about the future. These forms are often used in reporting. Compare the following sentences. For example, we've got on the left the future from now, and on the right we've got the future from the past. Let's check them. For example, I haven't got much money. I haven't got much money, so I think I will stay at home this summer. Now, reporting. Eleni decided that she would stay at home for the summer. So she decided, it was in the past. So she decided in the past that she would stay at home for the summer. So we're reporting, but I am reporting that fact. So for example, I say Eleni decided, I say in the present now, I say that Eleni decided in the past that she would stay at home for the summer. So we're reporting the future from the past. Another example. I'm not going to say anything about the exams today because I don't have time. Now, I wasn't going to say anything about the exams, but the students asked me to. Initially, I wasn't going to say anything about the exams, but the students asked me to. So I'm reporting now that in the past, I wasn't going to say anything about something, but then I did, because the students asked me to. Again, we're talking about the future from the past. Another example, I'm having a meeting with my tutor tomorrow to discuss my work. The future from now. The future from the past now. I couldn't go to the march because I was having a meeting with my tutor. Another example, we'll be going alone, or is Louis going with you? At the time, I thought I would be going alone, but then Jean said he wanted to come. Another example, the exam will have finished by 3 o'clock, so I will see you then. Now, from the past. The exam was so easy that most people would be finished after 30 minutes. So again, we consider the future from now, or we might consider the future from the past, which that lesson is all about. Okay, let's continue. There is to be a meeting of the ministers this evening. It was announced that there was to be a meeting of the ministers that evening. We're referring to the future from the past. Another example, when the school closes, all the children are to be moved to one nearby. Now, the future from the past. Mrs. Novak heard that she was to be moved to a post in a nearby school. And the last example, as the bell is about to go for the end of the lesson, pack your books away. Now, from the past. The bell was about to go when all the children started to pack their books away. That's it. So, okay, let's continue explaining that. If the future seen from the past is still in the future for the speaker, then either form is possible. For example, it was announced this morning that there is to be a statement this evening, or it was announced this morning that there was to be a statement this evening. In some cases, we don't know whether the activity or event happened or not. Compare. I didn't found to give him the news because we were seeing each other later. He was very upset when I told him. Or actually it means we saw each other. I didn't found to give him the news because we were seeing each other later. He was very upset when I told him. After all, at the end of the day we saw each other, and we were seeing each other later that day, but I had to found and cancel. We didn't see each other. Okay, let's go now through section B, which is actually the final section of that lesson. To talk about an activity or event that was in the future at a particular point in the past, we can use was to plus infinitive or were to plus infinitive for things that actually happened, and was or were to have plus past participle for things that were expected but didn't happen. For example, at the time she was probably the best actor in the theater company, but in fact some of her colleagues were to become much better known. So we're talking about things that actually happened. The boat, which was to have taken them to the island, failed to arrive. We're talking about things that were expected but didn't happen. So see the difference. He was to find out years later that the car he had bought was stolen. He was to find out years later that the car he had bought was stolen. So was or were to things was a word to plus infinitive for things that actually happened, and it was word to have plus past participle for things that were expected but didn't happen. Okay, let's move on. Note, however, that in less formal contexts, it's more natural to use be supposed to. It's the same meaning. For example, I was supposed to help, but I was ill. More natural than I was to have helped it. I was to have helped it. It's more common, it's more usual in spoken English. I was supposed to help, but I was ill. Okay, that's the final lesson of that series about the future. If you wanna know all the lessons about the future, go back to to unit 9 and go along to that lesson unit 14, so you'll be able to understand all the structures to refer to the future from different points of view, etc., and to learn grammar in use to become fluent and improve your English, bringing it to the next level, to the advanced level. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please share the content, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Cheers.